The Douglas County Fire Chief was fired today. It comes after an investigation into the hiring of a firefighter with an outstanding warrant. Atlanta News First, Carly Barnett is in Douglas County tonight to explain how this all came about. Carly.
Well, Savannah, the fire chief had actually been on leave since the end of February when reports started circulating about that firefighter in question. And we're outside the County Board of Commissioners because they're the ones who conducted this internal investigation and determined that he was not the man for the job. That was in a statement sent out Wednesday by the Douglas County Administrator, saying there was failure to comply with applicable Douglas County policy, failure to follow orders, failure to adequately complete work assignments. Chief Roderick Jolivet took the post in January of 2021, but didn't have a swearing-in ceremony until last year due to the pandemic.
I promise to do all I can to take care of our fire family and our community.
According to documents from the county, this started with concerns of the hiring of a firefighter, Dimitri Williams, in May of 2021. According to a report from Douglas County, Williams was convicted in 2019 for 2 misdemeanors, cruelty to animals and confining an animal to a pen. He also had an active warrant out for his arrest on a theft by deception charge in 2019. This January, a county commissioner heard reports of Williams' record. The county tasked Jolivet with researching his criminal history and providing a report. The county said, quote, Chief Jolivet indicated to multiple individuals that he would investigate the outstanding warrant allegation, but failed to promptly do so. Also saying he canceled meetings about the matter and locked Williams' personnel file away in a cabinet that only he had access to. Deputy Fire Chief Miles Allen will continue to serve as interim fire chief until further notice. It is also worth noting on his application that when asked if he had been convicted of a crime, Williams had checked yes. And when asked to explain further, he wrote down that it was back in 2005 for a possession charge and served no jail time. As his record indicates, that was a lie. Jolivet will remain on paid administrative leave until May 1st. Live in Douglas County, Carly Barnett, Atlanta News First.
All right, Carly, thank you.